It's July 4th and we're hauling manure again. They just brought the little spreaders this time. And John Deere tractors instead of fence. I think the fence are still on the big spreaders, working somewhere else probably. There's 3 of these Bunning spreaders going with 70, I can't quite read it, 7250R, I think John Deere's. Smells juicy. Didn't get the sheds cleaned out either, but they can stick their bucket in there a little bit. Those spreaders are still fairly large. I've sort of struggled with the economics of buying a spreader versus having these guys do it. You can make a case based on cash, I guess, that I should buy a spreader. But it isn't a one-time expense to buy, like I'm talking buying an old spreader. I'd have to buy a very small, you know, the old kind of New Holland, I forget what the number is, but you know, the standard kind of dual axle small spreaders, that pull type spreaders that everyone used to have. I'd have to pull it with the 1135. I don't know. So far I haven't done it. How long would it take me to spread all this? You do have time. Well, I'd like to get the grass grazed off once before we spread on it, so you do have a little bit of time, or I would have some time in June. Get that done before haying, but I don't know. It's a hard thing to. How much equipment do you buy? What do you rent? What do you get custom done? That's the tricky part of this business. Figuring out equipment costs. And I know I wouldn't spread it all in 5 or 6 hours, but if you're going to count hours in farming, you would give up a long time ago. How many hours I spend really isn't relevant. It's just, can you get it done? And Will that old equipment, old spreader hold together? Will the old 47, 48-year-old tractor pulling it hold together? And these guys are expensive, but it happens in a hurry. $72.50. They do a pretty good job of cleaning things up. So they literally spread their last load in the pouring rain. So you couldn't have asked to time that any better to get rain to get this manure down into the soil. It's really not much different than spreading fertilizer on grass. You got to have moisture to get the fertilizer into the soil. So these are Lowlander wide body 230 Bunnings. Holtrop Enterprises is the contractor, to use the European term, the contractor. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4 pens. The bullpen was the other one. So that's nice to get that done. And so it's pretty rare in farming to have the weather timing just right. I can't believe it. They got done, because if it had been raining like this, they wouldn't have been able to get up those hills loaded. So this is actually perfect. It's a miracle.